So today I want to introduce Bobby. This is our car which drives autonomous. Sorry. That's the pronunciation was okay. Bobby is a car with a soul because he knows the track and he knows how to ride the track. And that's what we trained him, and he is full of intelligence, and he's doing the racetrack in a very famous type, comparable to trained drivers.
Can you walk us through how Bobby is trained in terms of the technology that's involved?
The technology that is involved in Bobby is, first of all, a camera system, a GPS system, with a differential GPS, because we want to know where Bobby is on the track, and we want to know it very precisely, and so we know for 1 or 2 centimeters where Bobby is on the track. And also Bobby knows the track, the ideal line of the track, and he tries to follow this ideal line.
Can you walk us through the cameras?
In front we see a stereo camera, which is necessary to know and to compare all the pictures that are laid down in the computer, and he compares picture by picture the track and the laid down track in the computer. So Bobby knows every time where he is on the track, and also he knows the reactions which he is doing. If he, for instance, is in an oversteer tendency or so, he knows that he is in oversteer tendency, and he automatically turns the steering wheel to compensate this. On the other hand, that's what I explained before, this is the differential GPS, which is very precise, and he also has a radar system inside to know where they...
So Dr. Glacier, so this here is Bobby's brain, and can you tell us a little bit about Bobby's brain and how far in the future can we see this in a production vehicle?
So the brain of Bobby, or in a production car, will be much smaller than that what you see in this trunk here. The central brain is that, what I explained, and we want to introduce a brain that is like a, let me say, a small shoebox, which has all the intelligence inside. And our goal is to go into serious production with a certain kind of autonomous driving functions, let me say in 2 or 3 years.
Can you break down what would be included in that autonomous driving feature?
Of course, we want to realize the stop-and-go traffic, autonomous driving, and also autonomous parking function. So stop-and-go traffic means up to 60 kilometers per hour, for instance. We want to do that Bobby, or then the series production car, will all the things do by itself. So self-steering, self-braking, or even emergency stop if there is a pedestrian, for instance, which is coming into the lane. So this is our goal, and we are sure to solve that.
So you're thinking 2 to 3 years?
Yeah.
But that's not for a race car, yes?
No, it's not for a race car. It's for serious production cars. And this race car is just a demonstrator to show the performance of the systems we have. And as I said before, also emergency stops and emergency situations have to be considered. And therefore we do this in a race car to show the performance which is necessary to do that.
Okay. There's a lot of equipment here, and you're saying that the far top left there's his brain, but what's all this other stuff around here that you've got in the trunk?
This other stuff is just helpful for our central plane, as you see. This is connecting rod, which is normal just to plug in the plugs, and there is the development computer, which we don't need in a series car, of course, but it's necessary to have it in this car where we do our development for these systems. And this is also for the signal processing. of our camera system and all this stuff.
So speaking of cameras, how many cameras does Bobby have on his chassis?
This car, Bobby, has two camera systems. One which is also the camera system we will use in the series production car,
okay.
And there is an additional one just to make a double check, because this is a development car and we want to do some experiments with it, and so we need an additional camera system which we don't need in a series production car.
Gotcha. Okay, and then so you only have two cameras, right? And you're saying that it's mounted right up here, right above the driver's windshield here.
Yeah, these are the additional cameras I talked about. In this box here is the camera which we will also use in the series production car. We use it today also.
Gotcha.
For our driver assistance systems like ACC or lane assist or so.
So there are two right here mounted, right?
Yeah, just to have the stereo effect.
Oh, for the stereo effect. Will there be two in production?
No, there's just one. But it's a simulation of a stereo effect. It's a mono-camera system, but with a stereo effect, it will be done by calculation.
Okay, and where does the radar system sit?
The radar system is recognizing, it's mounted here, and it is this. And it's recognizing all the cars in front, and as we use it today also for adaptive cruise control system.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Glasser.
Welcome.
Okay, so we've got Oliver, corporate communication for Audi. So I want to do a quick follow-up with what Dr. Glasser said about autonomous driving vehicle being available in consumer cars in 2 to 3 years. Can you break down what type of features will be available and what cars they'll be implemented in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yes, we will make a big step with the next Q7 generation in the next year. A huge step in terms of assistance systems, driver assistance systems, and the first big step in terms of piloted driving we will introduce with the next A8 generation, and we will bring it in around 2 or 3 years. It will be the first car of Audi with piloted driving systems.
What kind of features will be in there? Is it braking, steering? What can we look forward to in the new A8?
Yeah, we also have a lot of assistance systems in the A8 and in all our cars, and the additional systems will be piloted driving systems in traffic jams. Under speed about 60 kilometers per hour. In traffic jam situation, you can give the car the opportunity to drive by itself. So you have a huge increase of comfort and in time, and it will be a big step for us.
I'm trying to understand the difference between autonomous driving vehicle versus pilot driving. Is there any difference between those two?
We call it piloted driving because we have an orientation to the autopilot like you have it in airplanes. It's the same way of thinking, and so we choose to call it piloted driving. We at Audi call it piloted driving if you give the car the opportunity to drive by itself, like an airplane does when you're in 10,000 meters height. It's the same way of thinking, so we call it piloted driving.
Gotcha. All right, thank you, Oliver.
Thank you very much.